Hello and welcome to Phone Arena's in-depth video review of the BlackBerry Bold 9700, which is going to be available through T-Mobile very shortly. We're going to take a look and see how this latest device at RIM's camp compares to the current lineup that's already available. Obviously, just from a quick glance, you could see that its form factor is similar to other BlackBerry devices, but we'll go in depth and see what kind of new features that make it stand out from the current crop. One of the first things that really catches our eye with the BlackBerry Bold 9700 is its striking resemblance to the BlackBerry Tour 9630 for Verizon and Sprint already. As you can see, they kind of have the same form factors and pretty much are closely related. They have the same exact Qwerty keyboards. Obviously, you could tell from the BlackBerry Bold 9700 they utilize the Optical Trackpad. It's one of the sleekest and most thinnest devices we've seen out of BlackBerry's camp. They kind of trim down on the borders. As far as the materials that they use, it's top-notch quality that we've seen. We like the chrome-like accents on the side that goes around the device. It gives it a really nice contrast with the leather-like material, which is brought over from the original BlackBerry Bold 9000. And as we said, it's a pretty small device, definitely one of the sleekest things out there, and we really didn't have too much of a problem as far as its weight. It felt pretty good, and construction overall was top-notch. The Bold 9700 continues the same path we've seen with other BlackBerry devices. The first thing you'll notice is the 2.7-inch LCD screen, which has a resolution of 360 by 480, with support up to 65,000 colors. And we have to admit, the colors were quite vivid and deep, great tones, and text was easily legible. It's a really nice display. Even when using outdoor settings in direct sunlight, we really didn't have too much of a problem with it. Right below it, you have your hardware buttons, which are the same layout that we've seen on the BlackBerry Tour. Instead, the middle is now used as the optical trackpad. At first, it does take some time getting used to, but after using the device, you'll find it to be quite responsive, even better than the trackball. The Qwerty keyboard's the same layout as we said earlier with the BlackBerry Tour. It's quite responsive. You have the silver accents separating the rows. It's pretty easy, quite responsive, and at the same time, if you're going to start typing away, you'll find it to be a really great experience. On the left-hand side, you have your 3.5mm headset jack, the micro USB port, and the left convenience key. And on the right side, you have your volume rocker and also right convenience key. On the top, you have your lock button and also the mute button. And in the back, you have your 3.2 megapixel camera with LED flash and the speakerphone right next in between it. When you remove the back cover, it's going to give you access to the battery, the slot loading micro SD card slot, and behind the battery is the SIM card slot. The BlackBerry Bold 9700 ships with version 5.0 of the platform. It's the latest one out there, and there are some new updates to make it stand out slightly, but for the most part, any traditional BlackBerry user will fit right in. As far as navigating through the main menu, there wasn't any instances of any slowdown during our testing, and for the most part, we were pretty happy with the overall speed with it. The new stuff that are included with version 5.0 is now the ability to change the home screen layout. You'll have this new layout which can display messages, your call logs, and also your calendar. Other than that, the other new thing with it is the media functions. Instead of running a separate application, it's broken down to subfolders, so it's a little bit quicker. And when you do get text messages or even emails, you'll get a asterisk to pop up on the icons to notify you that there's something new that came in. Other than that, as we said, at its core, it's the same exact interface we've seen previously. We were thoroughly pleased with the web browsing experience on the Bold 9700. It's come quite far since the original BlackBerry Bold 9000. When you first load up pages through T-Mobile's 3G network, it loaded pretty quickly. You get this page overview, and as you can see, just scrolling is really quick. The pictures and also text render almost instantaneously. You could zoom into a specific portion, and of course, as you scroll, it does a fine job in keeping up with what you're doing. So we're very impressed with the overall experience we got. Still though, it's still better than what it was originally, but still doesn't compare to some of the WebKit-based browsers out there. RIM's devices have always been known to have a really good depth when it comes to its messaging aspects, and the Bold 9700 fits that category. You can send text messages, picture messaging, or even an email with thanks to the Qwerty keyboard. It's quite responsive, and the application is the same we've seen previously. If you prefer a more instant way of chatting with someone or get in touch with someone, you could use the various IM applications from BlackBerry Messenger, AOL, Google Talk, ICQ, Yahoo, and also Windows Live Messenger to keep in touch with your friends. Setting up email is quite a breeze. All that's required is, of course, the email address and password, and generally the phone will automatically put in all the settings. The media players on the Bold 9700 is the same we've seen previously in other RIM handsets. You get useful information like the cover art, the artist, the album name, and the song title. And you can use the 3.5mm headset jack to use any pair of headphones for your music pleasures. When you do want to watch videos, we gotta say that the display is stunning. There was no instances of any slowdown or any choppiness while we watched the video, and we were thoroughly impressed with the overall speed and capabilities of the handset. Using the Bold 9700 for phone calls, we had a pretty tolerable experience with it. The only thing that really annoyed us was the fact that there was a constant static sound whenever you had the volume placed on its high setting. It's made quite noticeable. When you did set it at the medium setting, it was still kind of faint, but you definitely noticed it. Voices, for the most part, sounded clear on both ends. When we did switch the phone to using the speakerphone, we were just surprised by how well the call quality was. Voices did sound clear and distinct. As far as battery life is concerned on the Bold 9700, we managed to get a solid 2 days of continuous use out of it, meaning we use it for mostly texting, phone calls, and of course internet usage. Pretty good in our books, we'd say, when compared to other smartphones that are currently available. The Bold 9700 is also a first to be a BlackBerry device to support UMA calling through Wi-Fi network, meaning that if you have T-Mobile's $9.99 a month T-Mobile Hotspot at Home feature, you'll be able to connect through a Wi-Fi network and place and receive phone calls at the same time text messages, and won't take away from your minutes. Lastly, as far as connectivity features with the phone, we were kind of disappointed that the Bold 9700 kept on losing connection to T-Mobile's network when other T-Mobile devices that we had a solid connection. We really can't complain about the Bold 9700's photo quality. It's the same thing we got out of the BlackBerry Tour. You could launch the application by pressing the dedicated right convenience key or go through the menus to launch the application. It loads fairly quick, and when you hold down the button in the middle, it'll automatically autofocus and take the shot. It's almost instantaneous, so you could take another shot really quick. Quality, though, it had a really good detail to it, except for the fact when you zoom in, it looked a little bit more muddy. But colors did have a little bit of a subdued look to it, so it wasn't as great as we liked. For videos, video quality was also the same. It had a pretty good frame rate and didn't have too much of a choppy look to it. The BlackBerry Bold 9700 does everything a successor should do correctly. It takes the original's form factor and miniaturizes it in almost every aspect. It's the sleekest and most streamlined BlackBerry to date that we have seen. Unfortunately, its looks and design is stale because it replicates the same thing we saw on the BlackBerry Tour, so we'd like to see a little bit more innovation on its next device. It's the first device to support UMA calling through a Wi-Fi connection and just provides the users an alternative way to keep in touch. In the end, though, the BlackBerry Bold 9700 is a great first-time BlackBerry device if you never owned one, but we really can't consider it as a great or worthy option if you're upgrading from an existing model.